Hello and welcome. Keep your hand in your skirt. My name is Sabrina Brightstar. I am your host, Keep Your Hand in Your Skirt, and today's topic is about masculine and feminine. We all hold masculine and feminine consciousness within us. We are multidimensional beings, and as multidimensional beings, we have many aspects. And on our third dimensional planet, in the 3D realm, many of us have dismissed, ignored, shamed, prevented all of our aspects from being seen and experienced. So I am suggesting that we connect with our masculine and our feminine aspects, not only connect with them, but also include them in a dialogue, in a conversation. You might be thinking, like, how the heck am I going to have a conversation with masculine and feminine consciousness? Like, I don't channel, like, that's crazy. Well, I have an idea, I have a suggestion that you can try if it appeals to you. And if not, maybe this isn't the podcast for you today. But if you would like to summon the masculine and feminine consciousness within you, the simple, easy way to do it is to go into a type of meditative state, go into your heart, just go into your heart and have the intention that you would like to connect, communicate with your masculine and feminine aspects. Now, many of us who are intentionally communicating with consciousness, we have an idea of what it's supposed to look like. I know when I first started communicating with my multidimensional aspects, I didn't even know to call it my multidimensional aspects, but when I set the intention that I wanted to start communicating, I thought like a voice, like I thought I was going to hear a voice, I thought it was going to be a masculine voice, and I thought he would talk in English like I talk, and I thought he would talk in sentences. I thought he would say, "Hello, Sabrina, my name is, I am your guide," right? That's what I thought was going to happen. It did not unfold that way for me. Luckily, I was in allowance and I just played. And the biggest secret I can share with anyone, the way to really access your multidimensional abilities, if you really want to connect with more of who you really are, if you really want to activate dormant abilities that are within you that you don't feel are as pronounced or as active as you would like them to be, is play. Play, 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 play. When we get into our mind and we overthink things, we overanalyze things, we question things, we go into doubt, then communication or connection is more challenging for us to receive because our monkey mind is just overthinking, overdoing it. So just to go into your heart space, right? Just allow yourself to go into your heart and don't make it significant. However, information, data wants to present itself to you is just fine. Some people are able to actually hear a voice. They can specifically hear exact word to word in the English language. Other people just see images. They just see pictures, visual, maybe symbols. Some people just see colors. Some people smell. Some people just get a knowing in their body, a sense in their body. They have an emotion that shows up or a state of being that shows up. Communication, connection in the multidimensional realm is very diverse. And there are so many different ways that our multidimensional aspects can connect and communicate with us, but the easiest thing for connection and communication is when you just keep it simple, you keep it light, you don't make it significant. There has been so many times I would get information, but I had no idea, like, what does that mean? I saw a shape. What does that mean? I saw a color. What does that mean? And if you're going into your monkey mind again and trying to get a specific answer, it slows down the connection or communication. That has been my experience. But if you don't make it significant and you just like, oh, I saw this. Okay, I wonder what that means. Maybe after the connection, you go Google. I remember one time CP30 showed up. I had asked a question. I don't even remember what the question was, but C3PO from Star Wars showed up. So who can translate what that means? I had no idea what that meant. But when I was done with it, I didn't make it significant. When I was done with the connection, I just Googled like CP30. I was curious. Maybe Google has a clue for me. And you will not believe it. And I kid you not, this is a true, like all of my stories are true stories. But C3PO actually is an intelligence that can communicate. I don't even remember exactly, but it was like he had access to like 600 different languages. So C3PO was actually a communication expert in all these languages. And so I knew, like I instantly, when I read that about C3PO, I instantly knew the information that was being gifted to me, the download that I was receiving that I hadn't understood initially, had something to do with there are so many ways to communicate. And learning just to be easy about it, to make it fun, to not like need to have an exact interpretation, I knew that was opening up my ability to communicate and connect in new ways, deeper layers, different ways. And the more I just am light about it, I'm easy about it, I play games with it, the more information I started to receive, the more my dialogue with my different multidimensional aspects were able to be understood and experienced by me easier. So back to the masculine and feminine. So I invite you, if you would like to get more information from your masculine and feminine aspects, just go into your heart space and invite in your feminine. So start with your feminine. Say, oh, feminine consciousness, like, do you have anything you would like to share with me? Do you have anything you would like to gift me with? Is there a download? Is there any intel? Is there any feeling that you would like to gift me with? And see what shows up. Maybe a color, maybe a symbol, maybe words, maybe a feeling, maybe a scent. Who knows? Don't know. And then you can also ask your masculine aspect. And you can go in and say, like, if I want to feel my masculine aspects right now, what is a really dominant feeling that can show up that I'll be aware that this is a part of my masculine aspect? And what I found as a feminine, as a female, I tend to, unintentionally, I have suppressed a lot of my masculine consciousness. I have suppressed a lot of my masculine aspects. So when I was playing this game, I could feel that when I allowed my masculine consciousness to show up, to be seen, I felt this very, it was kind, but it was like this very protective frequency. And I'm like, wow, like, I could really use more of that frequency. I have been in situations where having better boundaries would have been fabulous, right? I have made a lot of errors in my past because my boundaries were weak. And if I would have been more comfortable letting my masculine aspect be a part of the equation, I could have benefited from that very strong, clear protection. And I can see, like, it's a gift, it's a contribution. And then when I intentionally pull in and communicate with my feminine aspects, my feminine consciousness, my masculine aspects, my masculine consciousness, then I can intentionally harmonize. And why do you want to harmonize with your masculine and feminine? Well, if you're out of balance, right? If you're too feminine, right? Then there's parts of you that are missing. There's parts of you that don't get to support and assist you. Versus if you're all masculine and you're suppressing and hiding your feminine aspects, there's certain things that your feminine consciousness, that your feminine aspects show up for, that can do for you, that can assist you. So to intentionally ask the masculine and the feminine to come to the table, to be a part of your reality, to support you, to be a resource for you, and then to harmonize, it supports a very balanced state of being. And right now, so many people have very dysregulated nervous systems. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it, but it's basically, if you have a dysregulated nervous system, you've had some kind of trauma, which I would probably say every single person listening to this has had a different type of trauma. And in our trauma, in order to survive, we learn skills, we learn tools to allow us to survive. And a dysregulated nervous system, the tools that you have learned to survive are fight, being really aggressive, flight, run away, freeze, or fawn. And that is like over giving, over pretending things are great, over making sure everybody else in the room is comfortable at your own expense, overdoing it. So those are 4 side effects. Those are 4 tools that we've learned from trauma, and most of us have all had trauma, not necessarily because anybody meant to give us trauma, but we are on the imperfect polarity planet, right? We are on 3D, the separation planet, where we have been disconnected from ourselves and from all that is, from one another. So in that disconnection, people say and can do very hurtful and harmful things. So a surviving way to survive is those 4 tools, and it is an indicator that your nervous system is dysregulated. So to bring us back into balance, to bring us back into our multidimensional self, to help us stay in our heart, we can intentionally call on our masculine and feminine aspects, the masculine and feminine consciousnesses, to come together and harmonize and assist us to get back to what some call the 0 point, that place in the middle where you're stable, where you're balanced, and that can support you in your day-to-day life. So I hope this tool, I hope these ideas have been helpful to you. It has been a pleasure, and have a great night.